You can hear the pain. Sheila grieves her mother who passed away just hours after she met David for the first time.
This is my mom.
And how it happened makes it even more heartbreaking. By the way, I also want to acknowledge the fact that this episode might be a little triggering for some of you. It might bring up some painful feelings, and that's okay. Sometimes we don't allow ourselves to feel our emotions because they seem overwhelming or scary, but the only way to release them is to allow them to pass through you and to come out instead of pushing them down. Because you know that works until it doesn't. But of course, make sure you always have the tools and support to do that in a healthy way.
Nakita namin na nasa baba na.
Now David, who only has a limited amount of time in the Philippines with Sheila, is confused on how to best move forward, calling it one of the most overwhelming experiences of his life. Hey 90 Day Fans fam, it's Melicia. Some of y'all suspected it was Sheila's mom who died. At the top of the episode, we see Sheila breaking down in tears as David tries to console her. He then goes on to explain that last night, after he met Sheila's family, they went to bed, and when they woke up, they noticed something horrible.
Anong nangyari? Nahulog si mama yung sa taas, yung may kalapit na hagdanan doon. Hindi kasi nakapako ng maayos yun. Mga alas 5, hindi namin alam kasi tulog pa kami. Yun, nakita namin na nasa baba na.
Oh my goodness. I wonder why no one heard the fall, or if that would have even made a difference. It's chilling because it's the same stairs Sheila warned David about last episode, the moment she introduced him to her mom.
Nandahan lang sa pag-akyat. Ay, palit yung hagdanan. This is my mom.
Y'all saw he almost tripped coming up. Look, I personally choose to live life with the belief that people die when it's their time. But this also opens your eyes to how living in poverty can increase your susceptibility to accidents like this. David says when he saw her mother was dead, he lost control and was in complete shock. Imagine being in his shoes. He was already heartbroken to see the way Sheila's been living. That was new to him. He's never experienced an environment like that before. And on top of that, he stayed the night at her home and woke up to her mother deceased. That's a lot. A lot of emotions to process in a 24-hour period. And some of us are sitting over here complaining about everyday things, like traffic, slow service, or an annoying coworker, who probably is annoying. But my point is that clearly it can always be worse. I also hope that Sheila doesn't start to feel like her life is too much of a burden for David. I've seen some people go down that road and end up pushing love away when it's there to help them.
Today is my mother's week in the Philippines. It is customary to stay with the body for 24 hours after death, or it is considered bad luck. So I stay with my mother today. My father stay with the body tomorrow.
When they slightly open the casket, Sheila sees her mom's face and breaks down. know some of y'all are over there crying or at least tearing up. I know I was. David tells Sheila he's so sorry this has happened to her. You can tell he's doing his best to comfort her. He's a sweetheart.
So sorry for what happened. Okay.
And I know, strong people can get tired of hearing this, but Sheila is so strong.
Tapos, siguro gusto mong pumunta sa hotel kasama ako. Saka na ako alis kasi walang bantay. Pero pwede ko siya ihatid muna sa hotel.
She has to watch over her mom, but she will drop you off at the hotel first.
It's good for both of us. He needs some rest and I want to be alone.
David says this is one of the most overwhelming things he has ever experienced, and he senses this is a very sad time for Sheila. He knows it's a time she needs to spend with her family. Has something like this ever happened on 90 Day? What are the odds? You travel across the world to meet your girlfriend for the first time, and after a few days of y'all getting to know each other, she loses her mother, who she lives with, and y'all found her dead together. It's going to be interesting to see if this brings them closer or if it drives them apart. Time will tell.
I'm so sorry you have to deal with this sad situation. I'll wait for you.
Oh, he said I'll wait for you. I hope this experience, as devastating as it is, brings them closer.
I really feel dadalamhati. But David, he has to help me. He's comforting me. Every time he saw me, I'm crying. And he respect me that I want to be alone.
Fast forward to the day of Sheila's mom's funeral. There goes her dad, right there. Wow, he had no clue in this moment where he was smiling meeting David, that hours later his life would change forever. This is as raw and personal as it gets.
I have been crying every day and night since my mother's death. I'm physically, mentally exhausted.
Pahulay nga dayon ihatag kaniya o Ginoo ug ang imong kahayag mudanag unta kaniya hangtod sa kahangturan. Itugot nga ang iyang kalag pinaagi sa imong kaluoy mupahulay sa kalinaw. Amen.
Sheila opens up about the pain she's feeling, and her family and loved ones say their final goodbyes to her mom.
I am very sad that my mom is gone. I have no one to ask about my problems and calling my name. I will miss her. Lungon. O kanang wala pa. Gibati na ko ba akong gibati? Mahirap mawalan ng inay. Kahit marami ako pagkukulang.
Wow. She said it's hard to lose a mother even if she fell short of her mother's expectations. Based off Sheila's reaction to her mother's death, it's clear that her mother loved her. And that's all that matters. She got the opportunity to love you, Sheila.
Ayaw pag-usapan to eh. Nagkamove on na ako.
Later in the day, Sheila and David head back to the hotel, where she will be staying for the night. David reveals that Sheila doesn't want to stay at her house anymore. She doesn't want to be where her mother died, which is beyond understandable. Sheila can't even think about a kiss right now. Meanwhile, David says he's feeling out of place. Sheila has a lot to deal with, and the last thing he wants to be is a burden on her.
Sa ako lang lisod lang jud para nako nga nang isabay lang ba isabay mama niya si David. David is really supportive, but I'm worried I cannot give him the love that he expects.
Sheila said she's worried she can't give him the love he expects. We've heard her mention expectations twice now. First, about her mom.
Kahit marami ako pagkukulang.
And now, David.
I'm worried I cannot give him the love that he expects.
Sheila, you are enough, even when you can't give somebody something. She's worried about what David expects from her during one of the hardest times in her life, when he just wants to be there to support her. He's clearly not asking for a thing from her. And if he did, we would all come for him. The episode ends with David and Sheila heading to bed to get some much needed rest. And thank goodness David is there, because if he wasn't, there would be no hotel for her to go to. She would be staying at the home where her mother passed. That's a blessing. How y'all doing? Y'all okay? I know, this was a lot. By the way, 90 Day dedicated the episode to Sheila's mother, which I thought was extremely thoughtful. And y'all know, we don't do the leaving on a sad note business. So, that being said, let's talk about what's going down next week, because honey, Tyree. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm worried about you going. This trip is kind of weird.
Last week, the real Carmela told me she'd be open to meeting.
Do you think she might be in cahoots with this guy?
It could be possible. I don't know what to expect, but meeting her could bring me one step closer and getting the closure that I need.
Who do y'all think is gonna walk through that door? And why is Tyree out here trying to play Neve on Catfish? Look at him. He's a little too giddy to be meeting up with a person who potentially scammed him. I told y'all, I think Tyree fell in love with Carmela's pictures. He wants to see that woman in person. All right, 90 Day fans fam, take care of yourself. Make sure you stick with ET because we are covering it all. I will see you next time.